Lately I've heard a lot of people talking about the First Amendment, the First Amendment. I think a lot of people don't really realize what's in the First Amendment and how it applies to them and how it affects them every day. I mean, there's this foundational right. I spent 30, people who know me know I spent more than 30 years as a newspaper journalist. And and people have asked me, what kind of license do I have and stuff like that. My license is the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. Um, it's sacred, and I just want to kind of give people a little refresher on the First Amendment. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm a practitioner of the First Amendment. So, the First Amendment, it reads, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or of the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So let's break that down for a minute. So it says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise of religion. So basically, remember, people always go back to, constitutional originalists and what did the founders really mean and stuff like that. They meant because many people had come to to America, to this land known as America, come to the land that we now know as the United States for religious freedom. The Pilgrims and the Puritans and the Quakers and the Catholics and all different groups came for freedom. So basically what they said was, this is not a religious state, okay? This is not, so we're not going to tell anybody what the religion of this country is. You're free to have a religion or not have a religion. So that means I can't force my religion on you. You're not supposed to be trying to force your religion on me. And I also have a freedom to not have any religion at all. This is not a religious state. There are places like Iran and Saudi Arabia and stuff like that where they have state-sponsored religions that guide all parts of their life. This is not that place. So you hear about people trying to get to taxpayer tuition money to help pay for these kind of religious charter schools and stuff like that. That's really a violation of the Constitution. You're not supposed to be using government money to prop up or propagate a religion, or to penalize somebody for the religion that they belong to. So so you hear about people lashing out at different religious groups and stuff like that. That's also constitutionally protected. They're free to practice religion the way that they want to. I'm free to practice religion the way I want to, or not practice religion at all. So that's one part. So then we talk about prohibiting, this should make no law prohibiting the free exercise of or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. That's one that goes right to my heart, freedom of the press, which nowadays I think we're talking more about freedom of the news media, freedom of people to express themselves however they want to. Now, a couple of things I will say, that this is not like an unlimited right. There's an old saying, that this freedom does not give you the right to shout fire in a crowded movie theater. So when you see these people making threats against government officials and stuff like that, talking about some of these MAGA people threatening and stuff like that, that's not really constitutionally protected, okay? So, but if you want to express something that's an unpopular view, and in fact, this is most important for people who are going to express something that's not popular, that you've got the right to express that. This is America, and you're allowed to express that. And then it's also of the right of the people to peaceably assemble. There's another one that our dear governor here has tried to crack down on. I know people who've gone to Tallahassee to have a peaceful demonstration to petition the government to redress a grievance, to express their concerns to government. We elected these people to government. We have a right to speak to them, let them know how we feel, and let them know how we feel when we don't agree with them. But yet they try to criminalize that. And I know people who've gone to Tallahassee and they went there to protest and they got arrested and they got charged with crimes and stuff like that. That's unconstitutional. So we need to really keep an eye on them because they keep on pushing, they keep on trying to limit these rights. If we don't exercise these rights, we will lose these rights. This is the United States of America. And by the way, two things I forgot to mention. These rights, by the way, apply to all people, whether you are actually a U.S. citizen or you're not a U.S. citizen. If you're undocumented, The rights in the Constitution, you are still covered by those rights when you're in the United States of America. So that's one of those things that people forget about. And also the freedom of expression and freedom of speech, that also means that the United States does not have an official language. English is not the official language of the United States. It is a common language. Most people use it. If you can't speak English, there are places where you may have difficulty getting some things done, but you've got the freedom to speak whatever language you want to speak in the United States. And again, you have the freedom to express whatever thoughts you have, whether they're popular or unpopular. Remember years ago, there was this whole big thing about rappers and what they were saying in their songs and stuff like that, and it may be very disagreeable, maybe even offensive, but you know what? Under our system of government, you've got a right to do that. And when you hear elected officials criticizing things, criticizing these freedoms, criticizing, trying to erode our right to petition government, to protest, to speak, when you hear them trying to force religion down our throats, they are violating their oath of office. Every single person who's in an elected position, they took an oath of office. They swore to protect and defend the Constitution, and we need to hold them to that. So when you hear these people trying to cut down our right to freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to peaceably assemble, freedom to petition government and complain, those are constitutionally guaranteed rights. And those people who hold office, every single one of them, I guarantee you, their oath of office had someplace in there it said that they swore they could protect and defend the Constitution. So when they're not doing that, we need to hold them to account for that. Thank you very much.